Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. If you're someone who loves to learn but wants to radically streamline your technical workflow, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're exploring this brilliantly simple platform that takes arguably the absolute worst, most tedious part of system design, drawing the actual diagrams, and completely solves it using AI. We're unpacking a tool called ArchGPT. You can find it over at archgpt.in, and we're going to see how it instantly transforms your plain text requirements right into professional, presentation-ready visual architecture.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because if you have ever tried to map out a system architecture, you absolutely know the pain I'm talking about. You open up one of those traditional diagramming tools and suddenly, bam, it's 2 a.m. You've spent 20 minutes just trying to get one little connection line to snap to the right anchor point without making your whole chart look like a giant bowl of spaghetti. It's incredibly frustrating. Your focus completely shifts away from the actual system logic and gets entirely bogged down in geometric alignment.
And diagramming simply shouldn't be this hard. It really shouldn't be this time-consuming. Traditional tools, they kind of force you into these cluttered interfaces, or worse, they make you learn highly specific, obscure coding syntax just to generate a basic flowchart. It's a total creativity killer. It completely breaks your flow. You'll have this crystal clear idea in your head, but the canvas itself becomes this massive mechanical bottleneck.
So enter the solution we're analyzing today. ArchGPT is an incredibly powerful AI-driven diagram generator. And the magic here is that instead of clicking and dragging endless boxes or writing specialized code, you just use natural language. You literally text it your requirements, and the AI instantly generates enterprise-grade UML, C4, and architecture diagrams. It effectively bridges that annoying gap between your conceptual understanding and a professional visual representation. It takes your plain English, does all the heavy lifting, and turns it into a perfectly structured architecture.
So the crucial point is, this entire capability costs exactly $0, which is honestly kind of mind-blowing. In a software landscape where enterprise architecture tools almost always come with these massive licensing fees or, those recurring monthly subscriptions that just eat away at your budget, ArchGPT really stands out because it's completely free. There are no sudden paywalls blocking you, absolutely no hidden costs lurking after you generate your first couple of charts, and no premium subscription tiers you're forced into later. It is a fully accessible tool for literally anyone who needs high-quality diagrams right now.
And actually, that zero extends beautifully beyond just the price tag. There are literally 0 hurdles to get started. I mean it. No accounts to create, no endless sign-up forms to fill out, and no passwords to remember. You don't even have to hand over your email address. You simply pull up your browser, go to archgpt.in, and you just start creating immediately. It's the very definition of frictionless entry, designed entirely to respect your time and get you straight to the actual value.
Now you might be wondering, okay, it's free and easy, but is it just a basic toy? Absolutely not. The AI isn't just a limited one-trick pony. It supports a massive array of professional formats. Whether you need an architecture or class diagram to map out your codebase, an entity relationship diagram for your database schema, or maybe some specialized C4 context and container diagrams for those high-level system views, it handles all of it smoothly. It even flawlessly outputs sequence, flow, state, activity, use case, and deployment diagrams. The whole shebang. It's an incredibly versatile tool for almost any technical or business project you throw at it.
Let's move to and see how this builds in practice. The workflow is elegantly reduced to just 3 incredibly simple steps. First, you just select your specific diagram type from a dropdown. Second, you describe your requirement in plain text. Literally, just talk to the AI. Tell it exactly what you need to see, like you're texting a coworker. And third, hit generate. Boom! Within seconds, the AI processes your prompt and outputs the finished, professional diagram. No steep learning curve, no dense instruction manuals to read. It's really that simple.
There is, however, one specific little parameter to keep in mind to make sure you get the absolute best results, and that's the 3,000-character prompt limit. While the AI is remarkably capable, very large or extremely intricate systems might be kind of challenging for it to render perfectly in one single massive pass. So, the best practice here? Break it down. Take those highly complex, monolithic systems and split them into smaller, much more focused diagrams. This not only fits comfortably within that character limit, but honestly, it makes your resulting diagrams so much easier for your team to actually read and understand anyway.
And this brilliantly illustrates a key concept. Because absolutely no special syntax is needed, the quality of your output depends entirely on the clarity of your plain English input.
It's the classic garbage in, garbage out scenario, right? If you give it a vague, generic prompt like, make a user diagram, well, the AI kind of has to guess your intent. But if you provide highly effective, detailed requirements like create a class diagram for a user with an ID, username, and email, the AI knows exactly what parameters to map. That gives you a precise, highly usable result instantly.
But wait, what happens if the generated diagram isn't 100% perfect on the very first try? Well, currently, ArchGPT doesn't support direct drag-and-drop editing on the visual canvas itself. Instead, the workflow relies on you quickly iterating. You simply refine your text prompt to adjust the diagram. You tweak your plain English description, hit generate again, and watch the AI instantly update the visual. Actually, it's a fantastic process because it sort of subconsciously trains you to be a clearer, more precise communicator of your own system designs.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how seamlessly ArchGPT maps to so many different professional workflows. Software developers, for instance, can visualize code architecture and document system design instantly, without totally losing their coding momentum. Business analysts can easily map out strategic business processes and requirement flows without fussing over visual formatting. Product managers can visually communicate features to seamlessly align their teams. And for students and educators, it's an incredible learning aid. It allows them to grasp complex UML and system design concepts way faster just by seeing text translated into visual models in real time.
Okay, so once you have engineered that absolutely perfect diagram, getting it out of the platform is incredibly straightforward. ArchGPT provides multiple professional export options right there directly from the interface. You can download your work as a standard PNG or JPEG, a highly scalable vector graphic, so an SVG, and even in PDF format. And honestly, if you're really in a rush, a simple right-click on the generated image to Save Image As works flawlessly too. This ensures your newly generated visual is immediately ready to be dropped straight into your pitch decks, your technical documentation, or your code repositories. Now, for anyone working on proprietary, enterprise, or otherwise sensitive systems, this next point is absolutely vital. ArchGPT is completely stateless. So what exactly does that mean for us? It means your diagrams and your text prompts are never saved on their servers. The moment your session ends, or the second you refresh that web page, poof, your diagram is gone forever. This offers a massive privacy reassurance. You never have to worry about your company's highly proprietary architecture lingering on some random third-party server somewhere. Just, remember to export and save your work locally before you close the tab. Which brings us to our final overarching takeaway for today's explainer. By completely removing the friction of dragging shapes, learning frustrating syntax, and wrestling with annoying paywalls, ArchGPT fundamentally changes how you document and communicate your ideas. It ultimately gives you your time back. So the question I want to leave you with today is this: what will you build with all the time you save? I highly encourage you to head over to archgpt.in, skip the logins, and just texting your own diagram requirements right now. See the magic for yourself. Thanks so much for joining me today, and as always, keep on